Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel. Now guys, Atiku Abubakar has come out to speak again about the judgment that was delivered by the Supreme Court. So pained is he by what he perceives as a miscarriage of justice. And I have to say, a lot of Nigerians agree with him on that particular sentiment. So with that, guys, I bring you this. Nigerian judiciary has been sabotaged and undermined. Atiku Abubakar reacts to Supreme Court judgment. So that's the headline. Nigerian judiciary has been sabotaged and undermined. Atiku Abubakar reacting to the Supreme Court judgment. So now let's see what Atiku has to say. Atiku Abubakar, the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party (PDP) in the 2019 presidential election, has reacted to the Supreme Court's affirmation of President Buhari's victory. Recall that the Supreme Court dismissed the appeal filed by the People's Democratic Party (PDP) and its candidate Atiku Abubakar challenging the election of President Muhammadu Buhari. The 7-member panel led by Justice Tanko Mohammed held that the documents and exhibits they went through 2 weeks ago lacked merit. However, reacting to the Supreme Court's judgment, Atiku stated that he will be leaving thoughts of if justice was served to Nigerians. He also alleged that the Nigerian judiciary, just like every estate of our realm, has been sabotaged and undermined by an overreaching and dictatorial cabal who have undone almost all democratic process. So now let's get into the body of exactly what Atiku has to say. So this is a statement. This is how his statement reads. It is said that the Supreme Court is not final because it is infallible, but it is infallible because it is final. Whilst I believe that only God is infallible everywhere and only Nigerians are infallible in our democracy, I must accept that the judicial route I chose to take as a Democrat has come to a conclusion. Whether justice was done is left to the Nigerian people to decide. As a Democrat, I fought a good fight for the Nigerian people. I will keep on fighting for Nigeria and for democracy and also for justice. I thank all Nigerians who have stayed the course since the commencement of trial in the petition on the February 23rd presidential election. The judgment is part of democratic challenges we must face as a nation. The Nigerian judiciary, just like every estate of our realm, has been sabotaged and undermined by an overreaching and dictatorial cabal who have undone almost all the democratic process the official PDP NG and its administration nurtured for 16 years up until 2015. Can Nigeria continue like this? Recently, former United States Assistant Secretary of State for Africa, Linda Thomas-Greenfield, averred that Nigeria had rolled back the democratic gains she made in 2015. When democracy is rolled back, the economy, the society, and the judiciary will not be far behind. Today, the nail has been put on the coffin and the gains we collectively made since 1999 are evaporating and a requiem is at hand. In a democracy, you need a strong judiciary, a free press, and an impartial electoral umpire. Nigeria has none of those three elements as today. One man, one woman, one youth, one vote should be the only way to make gains in a democracy. And when that is thwarted, the clock starts to tick. 2.5 millennia ago, Sophocles said, if we are to keep our democracy, there must be one commandment, thou shalt not ration justice. Nigeria will do well to observe this warning. To those who think they have broken my spirit, I am sorry to disappoint you. I am too focused on Nigeria to think about myself. I gave up that luxury 20 years ago. The question is not if I am broken. The question is if Nigeria is whole. This is not a time for too many words. It will suffice for me to remind Nigeria of this. We are an independent nation and we are the architects of our own faith. If we do not build a free Nigeria, we may end up destroying her, and God forbid that that should be the case. I am a Democrat, I am a Democrat, and I will always be a Democrat. May God bless Nigeria. And he signs it off as AA. So now, this is now the latest installment of Atiku Abubakar's thoughts on that judgment by the Supreme Court, led by Tanko Mohammed, of course, somebody that was appointed by Malam Buhari to replace Walter Onoge, haven't sacked Walter Onoge on rather vague charges. But then we all know that storyline, and the end game of that storyline is now what we are seeing playing out now. So Walter Onoge was sacked, Tanko Mohammed rather was installed. It was installed temporarily. It was confirmed subsequently, and he has now carried out this final act on the Nigerian nation. So now the words of Atiku Abubakar, of course, are the words of a pained man, because this is a man who feels deeply aggrieved that he has been cheated out of something that he rightfully gained, something that he feels that he worked for, and something that he feels was given to him by the peoples of Nigeria. He feels he has been cheated out of it, and he is not alone in that sentiment, that there are a lot of people who feel that that election was a complete farce. This is not just Nigerians speaking. There are international voices as well that have echoed that same sentiment too, that the election in February 2019 was a complete farce. And if you look at all of now the build up to all of these things, with people appointed by Buhari directly sitting on decisions that he is a party to and he stands to gain the most, and then you begin then to query if that judiciary system, or if that is even a judicious system, and essentially if that judiciary is really fit for purpose, because you cannot have this level of influence over the people that are meant to be of independent decisions and then expect an independent decision. The INEC chairman was appointed by Malam Buhari. The Chief Justice of the country was appointed by Malam Buhari. The Attorney General, yes, is the Attorney General and the Chief Justice. I think they're probably the same position. But the Inspector General of Police, everybody that you go to affirm your right as a citizen of the country, were appointed by one singular person. So if your gripe is then against that singular person, as is the case now with Atiku Abubakar, then of course the result can only go in one direction, which is the direction that the results have been going since these election petitions have been going all the way through. This was a complete joke of an election, of course. We all saw it with all of the figures coming out of Borno State coming out with the sort of figures that you would expect from maybe Switzerland, that have never experienced any sort of incidents in God knows how long. But Borno State, a war zone, is reporting higher figures, a higher turnout a higher voters turnout, I should put that in the right sequence, a higher voter turnout than states like the eastern states of the country, which is a peaceful and a placid place, and which the people are very educated in terms of politics and very fervently anti the government in place at the moment, and were very eager to come and vote them out of power. So what you are now saying in effect is that Borno State, which is a Boko Haram held territory, largely it ebbs and flows, is now able to come out in higher percentage numbers than states like Imo, Anambra, etc. So you already see all of these figures that don't really match up. And then we also, of course, what happened in Kano, and indeed that repeated all over the country. We saw how the election was moved about 5-6 hours from when vote was meant to commence, and they're saying they're not able to get electoral materials to stations in time, to polling stations in time, in an election that they had 4 years to prepare for, and they had an abundance of budget to enable them prepare for it. So you saw all of that, and that of course then tells you that this whole thing was a sham. So now where do you then go if this whole thing was a sham? Of course you then go to law, but then when you go to law, of course then you have an appointee of the person that you're contending against as the person that is sitting in judgment. So how does that play out? Well, however that plays out is how it has played out now for Atiku Abubakar and the Nigerian state. So Atiku Abubakar, a bitter man, he might say he's not bitter or not broken. He might not be broken, but he is bitter, because what we are seeing now is just beggars belief. It's almost unbelievable, but it is happening, what we're seeing going on in Nigeria. What do you make of it? Conversations in the comment section. The judicial system in Nigeria has been qualified in certain terms by Atiku Abubakar, and you agree with this qualification of the judicial system in the country. Come tell me all about it in the comment section. But before you do this, click on the red subscribe button so it turns gray. The bell button notifies you every time I drop a new video. Then come tell me what you are making of this rather unusual and almost bizarre and eerie goings on within our country in the comment section. And is there hope really of a way forward, of a positive outcome for that country? Really is really what we're looking at now, because I personally don't care who the president of Nigeria is. All I want is a better Nigeria, because all of the ingredients are there to have a first-class country. But then, of course, what we have seen in the last 4 years does not inspire us to vest hope in the Malam Buhari cabal system. So now, what system now will work for Nigeria, and how do we get there? Is this another 4 years of this? And then what happens at the end of that 4 years when it's then passed on to Tinubu, which is almost certain to be the case? So is there any hope now for that country, really, is the question that is being asked. So come tell me all about it. So click on subscribe, click on the bell, and let's have this very important conversation after in the comment section. So I'll leave you here, join you in the comment section, but here I say peace.